So from now onwards, we are going to talk about instant object. Now, if you see over here, as you guys can see, we will get options like add instance object. If you click on it, you will get this kind of instance object. Now, suppose if I want to this tab or separately because I want to use these options again and again and again. So what I can do, I can simply click on it over here. So now this is separate option. Now I can bring my whatever array I mean whatever instance I want in my scene. Now let's select our array object. Now when you click on it, obviously you cannot see anything. So for that, what we can do, let's create one pair. Let's say over here, let's decrease the size of this, and now I'll go to the front view. Let's delete that because this is quite distracting for me. Now let's select our pen tool, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to create one thing like, let's say, for one point over here, one point over here, and one point over here, and one point over here, and I'll hit escape so it will escape, and then I'll select my model, then select this spline, and in type, instead of Bezier, I'm going to choose B spline, so I'll get this kind of structure. Then I'm going to create one circle, and radius I'm going to choose 5 centimeter only, and then I'll go to my subdivision surfaces options and I'll enter my sweep. Then I'll select this circle and spline inside this sweep. So what will happen because of that, we will get this kind of structure. Now let's select this circle, and in intermediate points, right now it's adaptive, I'm going to choose natural, so I'll get this numbers over here, so I can increase and decrease the way I want, like this. Like now I'm choosing 0, so that's why I'll get something like this. Now I'll go to the sweep and I'll go to the details, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this graph downwards, so upper scale is like this, and I'll move this handle like this. Okay, then again I'll select this graph over here, I'll move this over here, and I'll bring this thing like this, so I'll get something like this. So this is my object. Now as you guys can see, suppose you have this object and now you want to make this object editable, but as you guys can see, this object is like, this is sweep, this is sparkle, this is spline. So basically this is not quite an editable object. To make that object editable, what you can do, let's select this sweep. By holding shift, I'll select this circle also, and then I'll select this spline also. Then I'll right click, then I'll choose connect object plus delete. So now it will collect all the object and it will delete that original object. Like suppose if you click on this current state to object, if you click over here, then as you guys can see, we have this thing over here and this thing over here. Now if I hide this one, let's say, by holding alt, I'll click on it to hide it. So as you guys can see, because we have chosen the current state to object, now it's converted this thing into an object. And if you see inside this, we will get this cap 1. Let's press E, which is over this, and this is cap 2, which is this, and this is our object. Okay, so this is how you can create object from current state to, you can choose create object. And if you don't want that, then all you can do, simply select all of the things which are included over here, right click and go to the current state to connect object plus delete. So now what will happen, that we will get this kind of editable object. Okay, so this is just a basic information to do this kind of things, like make object editable. Now let's select this object, and if you see, the anchor point of this one is not properly at the center. So as you guys know that if you want to adjust this axis, then what you can do, simply go and choose enable axis, and let's move this enable axis over here like this, and let's deselect that. And because now we are going to talk about array, if I select this sweep and if I move inside this array, as you guys can see, I'll get this kind of results. So basically this array is creating what you call clones around the center. And if you see, you can adjust the radius of this array, like you can decrease the radius like this. Okay, you can increase the number of copies like this, and you can change the amplitude. Basically it's a change in this height. You can adjust the frequency also like this. and if you hit play, as you guys can see, we will get this kind of certain animation because we have changed the frequency of it. If I make this 0 and if I hit play, we are not going to get any results. If I make this, let's say 2, it will give you something like this results. Okay, then you have array frequency also. For example, let's make this 0. We are not going to get anything. If I increase this array frequency, as you guys can see, we will get different results. Okay, so let's make this 0, and array frequency also 0, and amplitude, let's say 0. Okay, so this is the use of array, and if you want, then you can go to the sweep. You can change the rotation of it like this and this. According to that, it will give you the results like that. So yep, that's the use of array.